What's going on, guys? TKD1 back video, and on this fine Monday, I wanted to discuss what's coming on Tuesday, and that's Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Now, this game has been getting very high scores and high praise throughout the gaming community, and that's to be expected. Honestly, like it's not like I mean, did you really think that Naughty Dog would make a bad game? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about Naughty Dog here, right? And we're talking about the Uncharted series, right? Where, both of those things have a consistent, vibe to be good, right? And a lot of people have been saying, that this game is the best Uncharted game, which, at least in my opinion, those are some pretty bold claims to make. Like that is a serious claim that you really need to take into account and really need to really have a back to that claim, because a lot of the Uncharted are extremely good. My personal favorite, it's a balance between the third and Among Thieves. I lean a little bit more towards Among Thieves, but that's not to take away from the third one. Like, the third one is an absolute masterpiece, you know what I'm saying, by far, right? But I just wanted to discuss what I've heard about the game, and really just kind of give my final thoughts before we actually get to play Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. So the guys at Kinda Funny, right? I was watching their spoiler-free review of Uncharted 4. And Greg and Tim said that they liked the new stuff that they brought to the game, aka the rope slide. No, I mean the rope swing and the slide. Right? They said that those things brought a new way to move around the maps, and since they built these maps so big, as opposed to it being kind of small and kind of straightforward in old games of Uncharted, this game, it brings kind of a more of a open world feel to it and a open world vibe to it. And the rope swing and the slide, kind of help the maps feel a little bit more tight knit. At least that's what I got from what they were saying, right? But Colin does not like those new things, right? Colin, he made the point that Nathan Drake is supposed to be an older Drake is supposed to be a older type of guy that is kind of over this treasure hunting stuff, and all of a sudden now in his last hurrah, his last adventure, he's swinging on ropes, he's sliding. Like, it just doesn't mechanically make sense if we're talking Uncharted 4, if we were looking at it at a real life perspective, right? Usually one would assume that you'd be rope swinging and sliding and doing all this crazy stuff in your younger years, right? But now that he's doing it in his older years, it kind of just doesn't make any sense. It's kind of it's kind of a backwards thinking to it, and that is a point that is to be said. But I can't understand why Greg and Tim enjoy it. Well, I haven't even played, so I can't even say if I enjoy it or not, obviously. But I could see why they would enjoy it. Just to bring a new mechanic to Uncharted, right? They also said that the game is very much like The Last of Us in a lot of ways, where it's just that there's a lot of assets that they said that were kind of borrowed from Last of Us. Like, for example, Nathan's older brother, like he'll stick right by you throughout the story, and it's kind of like Ellie from The Last of Us. Which, I mean, I take that as, a pretty good thing if they're borrowing from that game, because obviously, that's another title by them, and that's obviously a game that's extremely well regarded amongst the gaming community. I mean, people put that game on such a high pedestal, it's insane, and that's, credit that's worth giving to, that game was incredible. So, after I watched that review, watched, all of the content that they've put out of Uncharted, I didn't watch any of the full slots where they showed actual stuff from the game. I just watched the story trailers, the gameplay trailers, all that stuff. And my reasoning why that I'm kind of trying to stay away from actual gameplay footage of Uncharted or like watching full-on story sections of Uncharted is the same type of thing I had for Drake's album, right? I want to go into this as blind as possible, right? And I could have done a better job, right? I could have just stayed away from all the trailers, but you know, a man can only help himself, you know, to as much misery as possible. But I want to, you know, go into this with a very clear mind and with a mind that, you know, is not expecting anything. But I am definitely excited for this game. I'm going to pick it up tonight at 10 o'clock on my local GameStop, and I absolutely cannot wait. And I think I've said this on the video before, I'm not sure, but I actually fully bought this game back in October, right? And there's a reason for that. It's because, you know, this game is by Naughty Dog. And yes, this game has had a lot of delays. This game has had a lot of issues in actually building the game, right? With, you know, some people at the studio leaving the Uncharted 4 project due to things that, you know, they were conflicting or rewriting of the story, or there are even some people that have actually left the studio as a whole, right? Even through all that, I know I will enjoy this game. I know I will love this game, right? I played Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 a few years back, and I, you know, just kind of bought them all at the same time and just played through them all because I was hearing a lot of good things about Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3, you know, at that time, and I thought, you know, might as well just, you know, might as well just widen my horizons and, you know, see what Uncharted's about and see why people love it so much. And I fell in love with those games. I love the Uncharted series. I love the characters. I love the way they interact with each other. I love the story of it. I love, you know, just where Uncharted games take you is totally, you know, unlike any other game that, you know, is out right now, right? It's very, you know, Indiana Jones-esque. It's very Tomb Raider-esque, right? Like, Uncharted, you know, is kind of like what every teenage guy, you know, wants to be, right? They want to go on crazy adventures and go on crazy locations and, you know, do insane, you know, things that you hope that you're not gonna die, but then you somehow do. Like, it's, you know, it's at least, you know, from my perspective, it is high-key one of my favorite game trilogies of all time. And Uncharted's music, I mean, come on, guys. You cannot mess with Uncharted 4's music. That main theme is beyond iconic, dude. That Uncharted 4 theme is on another level. It is godly. However, you know, as it is pretty well known that Uncharted 4 is Nathan Drake's last story. I don't really see Sony giving up the brand of Uncharted. I don't see them stopping it. I believe that, you know, they will you know, maybe let other studios try and do an Uncharted game, because they have before. The one on the PlayStation Vita was not made by Naughty Dog. I actually forgot who actually made that game. I actually forgot, but I know it wasn't them. It was another studio. And that game, you know, that was a pretty solid game. It was a pretty solid launch title for the PlayStation Vita, and I did enjoy that Uncharted. You know, it is definitely an Uncharted game. It's definitely really good, actually. But I just don't see Sony giving up the Uncharted brand, and I, you know, definitely see them passing along the torch to another studio. But I don't think that they'll use Nathan Drake again. I think this is really going to be Nathan's last story, and that's pretty, you know, that's pretty sad. But, you know, all things must come to an end, and I cannot wait to experience that starting tomorrow. And that's all I gotta say about Uncharted 4. So in the comments below, let me know if you're gonna get the game, if you're gonna pick it up, or you're on the edge of getting it, or, you know, are you thinking yeah or no? I definitely think you should. But if you are, leave the comments below any questions you have for me on you know, Uncharted 4 as a whole, and let me know if you want to see any content from it. Obviously, I'll be posting a lot of content on Uncharted 4, but maybe if you guys would like, you know, you know, some live videos of Uncharted 4, I'll definitely, you know, get that going. And if you guys enjoyed the content, please, down in the description below, you can like, subscribe, share the video with your friends that love Uncharted, and also down there you can find my Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. You can follow me on there, see what I'm doing, see what, you know, is happening in the life of KD, and that's all I gotta say. So as always, I got you.